Inside each of us, there are two versions, one weak and one strong. The weak version seeks comfort, delay, and excuses. The strong one is disciplined, determined, and willing to break limits to reach success. Your life is shaped by the one you choose to feed every single day. If you don't destroy your weaker self, it will destroy your potential. Jim Rohn once said, "You cannot change your life unless you change yourself. But to change yourself, you must first face and remove the version of you that keeps holding you back." That weak version isn't a stranger. It's the one who hits snooze in the morning. It's the one who finds reasons not to start, who chooses easy habits over meaningful progress. It hides behind justifications like, "I'm tired, I'll do it tomorrow," or "maybe this isn't for me." It sounds harmless, but every time you listen to it, you make it stronger. The scariest thing is that your weaker self often disguises itself as logic. It tells you that you need more rest, more time, more preparation. But what you truly need is more courage. Courage to act even when it's uncomfortable. Courage to continue even when it's uncertain. Courage to say no to laziness and yes to discipline. Destroying your weaker self doesn't mean becoming cold or ruthless. It means recognizing what's holding you back and replacing it with new habits, new beliefs, and new actions. As Jim Rohn said, discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. You can't reach your dreams without crossing that bridge. Every time you replace procrastination with action, fear with learning, or mediocrity with ambition, you weaken the weaker self inside you. The strong version doesn't demand perfection. It just asks you to start. And each small victory builds momentum. Waking up earlier, focusing longer, pushing harder when others quit. But remember, the weak version never disappears completely. It waits for you to lower your guard. That's why you must stay aware, not to doubt yourself, but to lead yourself. Every decision you make, what you eat, how you work, how you rest, is a vote for the person you become. If you've fallen before, if you've lived too long as the weaker version, that's okay. The greatest gift of being human is the power to begin again. Jim Rohn said, "You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." You don't have to change the whole world overnight. Just do one thing today that your weaker self wouldn't. Face your fear instead of avoiding it. Act instead of making excuses. Strength doesn't come from perfect conditions. It grows from hard moments where you choose to rise instead of complain. No one becomes strong by feeling inspired. They become strong by acting even when they're not. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Weak people say, "I can't, I've never done it." Strong people say, "I'll try and learn." One waits for perfection. The other acts despite imperfection. That's the real difference. Not talent, but mindset and discipline. Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the person who deserves it. You can't build a new life on the foundation of old habits. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you feed your weaker self. And though it seems harmless, it silently weakens your will, your results, and your self-worth. Victory begins with small wins. Waking up on time, saying no to distractions, keeping promises to yourself. These are the quiet foundations of confidence and strength. Stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison either makes you insecure or arrogant. Both stop growth. The only competition that matters is with who you were yesterday. Surround yourself with positivity, books, people, and environments that lift you higher. You can't become your strongest self in a weak environment. Feed your mind with discipline, your soul with purpose, and your day with action. Progress doesn't come from motivation. It comes from consistency. Every day you will hear the voice of your weaker self whisper, "Just today, take it easy." That's when you must act. Action silences weakness. You're not a victim. You are responsible. And responsibility is where growth begins. Maturity isn't knowing more. It's facing who you are and choosing to be better. Change doesn't happen when you feel inspired. It happens when you stop watching and start doing. When you act despite fear, despite doubt, despite fatigue, that's when your strong self is born. Jim Rohn said, "Life doesn't get easier. You get stronger." You can't control what happens, but you can control how you respond, and that's where your power lives. Your weaker self is not your enemy. It's your starting point. But you cannot live there forever. Be willing to struggle today so you can be proud tomorrow. Clean your space. Write down your goals. Stick to your promises. Act, even when you don't feel like it. Because discipline creates the emotion, not the other way around. No one is born disciplined. They simply refuse to stay weak. So don't stop when you're tired. Rest when you've earned it. Don't quit because it's hard. Grow because it's hard. Every right action you take is a declaration of war against your weaker self. And if you do that long enough, you won't need to say anything. Your results will speak for you. Jim Rohn once said, "Work harder on yourself than you do on your job." Because success doesn't live in what you do. It lives in who you are becoming. From today, take back control. Don't let your weaker self drive anymore. Be disciplined. Be courageous. And remember, no one is coming to save you. You are the one you've been waiting for.